Good morning, everyone. Today is our presentation for Group 2 regarding the topic of self-leadership. We are Group 2 from Monday class, and our team member includes Fan Yangyang, Liu Man, Shi Nanqi, Yao Jiami, Yuan Bo, Zhang Suyu, and Zhou Quan. Please enjoy.
In part A, we will talk about the qualities of Lang Ping. Lang Ping, also known as Jenny, is a former Chinese volleyball player, and she has coached the Chinese and U.S. women's national volleyball team. During her career as a player, she won several world titles with Chinese women's volleyball team. She has coached about 30 years, from 1995 to 2021, becoming the first person in volleyball history to have won gold at the Olympics, both as a coach and a player. Whether she was a player or a coach, she has dedicated her sweat, youth, and health to the cause of volleyball. In the process, he put in more effort than normal. In 1987, Lang Ping gave up her volleyball career in China to study in the United States. This is because that she knew she wanted to gain more knowledge. She said that I was so poor that time, and I couldn't be bothered to go to the school canteen for lunch. So I made my own sandwich and brought it with me. Then she was held by an Italian A-League volleyball club and played her heart out for the money. In one match, she broke her cartilage and got a spark in the bone. Imitating the peri-Austin with water and fluids all around. Before the game, the doctor pumped out the fluids and pumped out it again after the game. Then, luckily, she was survived language barrier and financial hardship, successfully graduated from the University of New Mexico. This experience also laid the foundation for being a coach and leading the later victories of Chinese women's volleyball team. After becoming the coach of the volleyball team, she worked even harder. The left picture, which was taken during the Rio Olympics, Lang Ping was so busy with work that she only relied on instant noodles to feed herself. Despite this, she said that she wanted to keep fighting, which both motivate herself and her team. Then the Chinese volleyball team won the gold medal. In an interview, she said that the women's volleyball team get up at 8:30 a.m. every day to train until the afternoon. As a coach, she only works harder than them. She must get up earlier and ready for the day's training. Watch the footage, analyze the data, and write up a battle plan. It's just her daily routines after training with the team. This is her hard work and persistence that makes her such an outstanding coach and player. Also makes a great team. Then my partner in this part will further discuss a little bit more.
Okay, so as my partner mentioned, she was coaching in China in 1995, and she went back to the US after 10 years to coach the US team, and she finally came back to coach the Chinese team in 2013. So when she was coming back and forth between two countries, she has to face a dilemma. It's about a work-life balance. Obviously, she was satisfied with her current life in the US because her family and friends and her connections was there, and her young born daughter was only 3 years old when she has to come back to China to coach in 1995. So she has to face the separation from her family. And the other things is her nationality and faith. Her nationality was as a Chinese. She also has a really strong faith in volleyball. And her first team in China, she wants to persist with her beliefs. So she proceeds to the transition to becoming a Chinese volleyball coach and rebuild the team with her advanced theories and strategies. And also, while she was doing that, she has to cope with the different skills of self-leadership. The one is self-management. She was able to perform a high level of adaptivity to show that she can overcome the cultural and language barrier between the her local culture and working environment. And also, while she was facing that, she was able to achieve some goals, some really hard goals, whether it's for the school teams in New Mexico or the national team for the US. She managed to lead the team and lead the team to win a couple of medals in the Olympics or local games. And while she was doing that, obviously her homeland was giving her some misunderstood when she was coaching the other country's team because of her high reputation and high expectation as a former player in the national team. And obviously she was very famous and populated in China. And also the public pressure is putting a lot on her because she was experiencing physical pain and the knee injury from the previous playing in the game in the team. And her mental has to be very strong because she was also separated from her family. So these skills are her skills to cope with these dilemma and the difficulties while she was coaching.
Okay, so Jenny Long shows a good quality of self-leadership. But what is self-leadership? So now please let me tell you. According to Menz, he mentioned in 1986, self-leadership is a kind of comprehensive self-influence perspective that could push ourselves to do some tasks we don't want to, but we have to do. In 2006, Knack and Houghton also developed this theory into that a process through which individuals control their own behavior, influencing and leading themselves through the use of specific sets of behavioral and cognitive strategies. From self-leadership, I associated it with a Chinese old saying goes, as you can see on the PPT. Basically, it means we should lead ourselves, then we could lead our home, lead country, then the world. I think we should lead ourselves, then we could lead others. Jenny also has a good self-understanding. But what is self-understanding? According to Keegan and Wallenbach, they said that understanding yourself is understand your motives and what you act. It is also a way to know one's direction and value. It is a process to understand one's own strength and weakness from the multifaceted nature of the self. Self-understanding, let me recall a very interesting fact between me and my friend. For me, I love eating Japanese bread, but my best friend Sky, she likes eating European bread. Why I like eating Japanese bread is that I think it's soft and my teeth are not as strong as my friends. Meanwhile, European bread is so hard for me that I couldn't eat it. I understand myself that I couldn't eat European bread, so I choose Japanese bread. Besides its delicious appetite, it's also very soft, so it fits me the best. This is how I understand myself. So this is also a kind of self-understanding, which is the simplest example. Then, how to improve self-understanding? First of all, you could meditate. It could help you to reflect what you did and thinking about what you want to do. Secondly, you can write down your key plans and priorities. It is also a kind of goal setting, which could help you arrange your events effectively. Thirdly, you could take a psychometric test. It could be the Ocean test, also MBTI test, etc. They could let you understand yourself better. Another way to understand yourself better is to ask the friends you trust, because you could get the ideas about how others see you from different perspectives, which is also a good way. Thank you.
Part B, self-management. What is self-management? Initially, one of the first uses of the term self-management appeared in a book on the rehabilitation of chronically ill children written by Thomas Queer. Queer and his colleagues feel that the term self-management indicated that the patient was an active participant in treatment. As society evolves, self-management takes on new meaning. Self-management is about taking ownership of self-understanding and alignment of goals and purpose in life. It's a unit of knowledge and action. It has two aspects. One is self-awareness, and the other is managing ourselves. Self-awareness leads us to know ourselves, to know who am I, to know what is my goal. For example, I want to be a biologist and I want to win an award in biology. Manage ourselves. We can do what we want and act according to our goal. I study 10 hours a day. I do my homework carefully. I ask teachers questions every day, and so on. Self-management is our ability to manage our behaviors, thoughts, and emotions in a conscious and productive way. Someone with strong self-management skills knows what to do and how to act in different situations. After failing a biology exam, find a reason for the failure and fix the problem instead of being distressed all the time. In my opinion, it's about our adversity quotient, our AQ. 7 skills to increase your self-management capabilities. Show clarity, goal alignment, strategy planning, priority setting, self-awareness, emotional regulation, self-care. Here are 2 definitions of the self-management. We can find that other definitions make us voluntarily to manage ourselves or lead ourselves. Likewise, self-understanding is also the same. Self-leadership is the ability that we choose to do what we want to do or what we don't want to do. It tells us how to live. A reason that life is never smooth sailing. To face the difficult all the time.
In this part, I will analyze self-leadership for Lang Ping by taking the turning point in 1994 as an example. Both Chinese women's volleyball team and Lang Ping have a tough time in 1994. The team lost their game, and Lang Ping were facing serious emotional problems. Therefore, when asked to return to coach, Lang Ping was worried at first because once accepting, she needed to control her emotion rapidly and pay for a large sum of penalty charges to US national volleyball team, let alone suffering external pressure. However, a big price though she needed to pay She finally came back, for she knew that she couldn't give up Chinese women's volleyball team. In her autobiography, she said, "I was certain that women's volleyball team has a special meaning for me, which has exceeded volleyball and sports itself." Mans and Neck said that a leader's words and actions are guided by their own thoughts and beliefs. Hence, their behavior are authentic and can best reflect their inner values. And it was this clear coordination of herself helped Lang Ping to make up her mind quickly to come back. Knowing what she really wanted, Lang Ping started to cure her emotional trauma. She kept talking to herself to think it easy and believe she had done the best. This kind of positive self-talk and mental imagery help her control her emotions successfully and better immerse in the work. Like what Burns said in 1980s, individuals who envision success are likely to be successful. After returning to China, the first thing she did is to encourage the teammates, make them have faith in their team and enjoy playing volleyball again. As a result, she led by example. She would train with them no matter how hard it was, and innovated or adjusted the strategies actively to let everybody find their best standing position and methods to play volleyball. Also, she paid much attention to transparency when communicating. All this create an environment with harmony, in which every person are motivated or rewarded by inherently enjoyable aspects of the task or activity. And this called natural reward strategies, which help to develop the feelings of competence and self-determination of teammates, and finally, help the team level success. As the civil developing, many psychologists believe that the concepts of self-leadership should not only limit to individual and team level success, but also have a broader organizational context. In the 1950s, China had already ended the Civil War. It was important for us to gain a firm foothold internationally. At this time, ping pong, volleyball, and other sports undoubtedly offered chances for us to communicate with Western countries. Also, the prosperity of sports is closely related to the prosperity of a country. As a result, the successful Lang Ping not only have individual and team level meaning, but also have the national and international meanings.
Developing self-leadership skills can have many benefits in both your personal life and professional life. To launch a successful career, self-understanding, self-management skills are the critical elements in the 21st century. So why are these so critical? First, self-understanding helps you to identify yourself. Understanding your unique qualities and talents will give you more confidence, and it will clarify your contribution to the work. And you actually can lean on your strength to get through the hard times and help you and others. We can actually get better self-understanding by reflecting yourself at the end of the day. For example, Lang Ping has the habit of writing training diaries. It helps her to consolidate the strength during training and improve the mistakes. And it will allow you to gain perspective and step back on what matters and what can be ignored. And it promotes learning and understanding and enable us to evaluate and process what we've experienced. It allows us to think deeply and ponder the meaning of our circumstances, sense of purpose, core values, and desires. I think it's applicable for everyone because it's easy. And at the end of each day, we just take some time to ask ourselves some questions. For example, like how the day went, what challenges you faced, and based on that, you can plan for the future. I'm sure that you can get better work performance. Next, self-management can help you get strong goal-setting skills. It will keep you more motivated and accountable. Motivation helps you to push through challenges when they arrive, and being accountable provides you the opportunity to learn and develop new skills. For example, Lamping, after her retired, she set a goal for herself and decided to start from zero. So she went to the America and got the master degree. Finally, she became the coach of volleyball teams for the Olympics. The self-goal setting skills will make you more efficient and productive. It will help you to accomplish its goal more efficiently and productively. It will also manage time effectively and have high quality work.
So next, we are going to talk about the application of self-leadership in the family, which is the main part in our daily life. First, the goal of family leadership is having a closer relationship. Family leadership usually looks for a long-term goal, like having a long-term domestic harmony. Our chosen model of self-leadership is Lan Ping. In her past interview, she mentioned that she is regretful to her daughter because of her work. It shows the importance of balancing work and the family. Being a good leader in the workplace cannot represent you as a good leader in the family. We will go through the self-leadership in a family team step by step. We know that self-understanding is the first step, which is a process to understand our abilities and roles among family members. We may notice that our responsibilities in the family are continuously changing according to our ages and knowledge. Each member in the family is complementary to each other, and we should find our value in a family group. For myself, I know I am more familiar in different areas than my family. For example, using computer. So I gradually became a computer helper. In this process, you can see self-understanding and self-awareness. Because I may start to be aware that I can be a leader in front of my family, and I know what my abilities that can be used in a team. However, we must recognize our family's needs and feelings. We need to help them without hurting their self-esteem. In my personal experience, as I know that sometimes I'm outspoken, so I learned that encouraging them is the best way for teaching. After I changed my tone and there were fewer conflicts when I was teaching them. But there are still some improvements, like using more gesture or smiling, which can change the atmosphere during the communication. So actually here it is a self-management. I need to control my speaking tone and behavior. It is the next step of self-leadership that I'm going to talk about. Self-management is the ability to manage ourselves, and emotional regulation is very important to prevent effective conflicts. Especially during puberty, we have frequent fluctuations in emotion or changes of behaviors, which can cause a high chance of having an argument. So what effects of effective conflicts will bring to individuals? According to Flores et al., it may cause distraction, reduced commitment, or wasting time and so on. Overall, there will be a poor family relationship. My suggestion is let yourself be alone for 5 minutes and calm yourself down. Then you can think about what you need to say or do and how others will feel about it. In daily, you can think positively and encourage others. Moreover, you can be aware of everyone's emotions or listen to them as much as you can. This can make your family think you are more reliable and mature. Actually, family is the first team that can show our self-leadership. Here are the benefits of family leadership. First, a better family relationship. Second, gain confidence and self-accomplishment. Third, demonstrate to your parent that you are an adult already, which are very vital in self-development. Self-leadership is extremely useful and essential in the workplace and family relationships. So, do you think you are a good leader in the school or family? It is the end of our sharing. Thank you.